Hello, good evening. I'm back tonight for some additional work on our MMO, which we are converting from an old engine to a new engine. I guess some of you are already aware of it because many of you I know are. Hello, Cyborg. Hello, Swoop. Hey, Cyborg, you disappeared for some time. Like 1 month, 2 months? I don't know. Hello, Maui. How are you? A lot of progress has been made, Cyborg, since you left. But welcome back anyway. If you want to join again, it's good. So tonight we will have to do definitely some work in C++. We will have to do some work conceptual, meaning that we will have to discuss few things that we want to do and how we want to do them. I would like to give you also a brief recap of what I have discussed with some of the guys, some of the PlanShift developers, some of the other developers, and what let's say and what can be the direction for the behaviors, reactions, and such. So yesterday evening I had a pretty good chat on Discord with one of the guys that contributed a lot of the code that we have for NPC client, for the NPC artificial intelligence. A guy named Magodra, and Anders is his name in real life. And basically this guy have helped us a lot. Been one of the developers, is a long time developer of PlanShift and has been helping us mainly with the NPC movement, waypoints, behaviors and such. Even if the original system, I think that for the behavior and reaction has been written by another guy called Keith. But I wrote also to Keith, but I didn't have the chance to speak with him yet. I sent him a message and I will see what he will answer. But with Anders yesterday, I have basically explained where we are with the current capability of the engine, which maybe I can briefly recap to you as well, because it's the same thing that I did yesterday with him, and I think it could be good to just have a recap of what let's say Unreal Engine provides. I think I have it already open. Yes, I have it already open. So what I learned in Unreal Engine about NPC movement is that definitely the engine is capable of providing pretty good animation features. So for example, if we go to our current character and we select the blending of the let me try if I can do this. Maybe, yeah, it's a bit worse in terms of light, but it's more visible. I think it's opening another editor, which we don't want. Let me close it. So some of the capabilities of the engine here are pretty good. So if I move this marker that you see here on the bottom between, let's say, the left and the right, is interpolating the idle animation, which is this one. This is 100% idle animation. This one, which is 100% the walk animation. And if I move it to the right, this one, which is the run animation, right? Now, this is a very simple linear interpolation. I mean, I'm not doing anything fancy here, but still it's pretty smooth, right? So one of the things that I think Unreal will bring to us compared to the previous engine is, say, the ability to have all this control over the character movement. And so for this piece, we want to use 100% the Unreal Engine features. I mean, we don't want to migrate any of the code that you see in the old PlanShift, which is, for example, I can show you here, for example, the walk poly or all that stuff, right? All the walking or any of the navigation we don't want to have, because actually Unreal is also providing an AvMesh, which is the one you see in green, which is the say the simplified geometry, the simplified set of polygons and planes where the NPC can walk. You see there is a bit of a extra ones, like for example those ones, I don't know why get selected and they are green, they should not be, so maybe we should exclude them somehow, but I mean it's unlikely anyway that NPC is going to walk there. And we have you see we have all the nav mesh already done, so there is no need for us to redo it or do it differently. So this we will use exactly what the engine is providing. And this is another pretty big piece of code that we can remove from the old PlanShift, right? Other stuff that we can do that we have tested in the previous days, weeks, is the possibility to use waypoints, right? So I have this actor which is a waypoint, and I can send, let's say I can have my armor actually walk to a specific waypoint. So it can recognize where the waypoint is, and it can walk, move, let's say, to the waypoint, and it can move to this waypoint and to this another one, okay, or it can move randomly in an area and things like that. So also for this, the search of a waypoint and the movement from the current position to the specific waypoint, we are going to use 100% Unreal Engine. So we are going to trash all the code related to that, right, in the old engine. Another thing that Unreal is providing, which is very good, is the what is called the pawn sensing. So if I go to my armor, which is this one, okay, which now is, I mean, is an NPC, but obviously is missing few pieces. But let's assume that this is an NPC. Is a floating, living, magical armor. Okay, I can add a new component which is called pawn sensing, and this component has the ability to generate perceptions, not to generate perceptions, sorry, to have perceptions, when a specific event happens, right? And so, for example, this one has at the moment the hearing threshold set, the sight radius, in which you see I can shrink or I can expand. So I can decide that this character is as a view of, I don't know, 4 meters, 10 meters, 200 meters or less. I can decide also the cone, so if it's 90 degrees, 180 degrees, or all around it. And the same I can do with the hearing threshold. So the blue circle is the area in which this NPC will hear something, right? Now the biggest one, I don't remember what is it. If is the max, I don't remember what is it actually. This one. I think there are two settings for hearing. So the first one is the max distance at which a noise will be heard regardless of occlusion, while the second one is regardless of occlusion. Yes, and the second one is the max distance sound can be heard if unoccluded. So I don't know exactly what is the difference, but anyway, there are two settings for hearing, for sight, and I think that for that we want to use exactly what the engine provides. In addition, there are also proximity triggers, which we used already. For example, we used it for, let me just increase the sight again, otherwise this NPC will be blind. Okay. There are other possibilities, like for example the proximity triggers. Yes, this is what I want to say, the proximity triggers. So if I go in my NPC, I have, this is the, say, the basic character, the PS character. I have this red box, which is now is becoming red sphere, which is now becoming yellow, which is a trigger, an interaction trigger that I can set as big as I want, and is generating events when this is hitting a specific component, a specific item, a specific object, a player, or anything else. So we are going to use this instead of our current code for checking if there is an item nearby or a player nearby. Okay, so these kind of perceptions, sight, hearing, and the presence of an item, let's say, all of those will be done through these kind of triggers. Okay, so all this code will be done by Unreal. Hey Maui, yes, there is the guy. You didn't spell it exactly, but there is the guy that yes, there is the guy that was working with us in the past. Do you know him, or you have seen him in maybe SBN Comics? Okay, so now the point is, the important point is to understand how to do the rest, because I was drawing a picture yesterday. I mean, I was writing this thing. So, as we said, our character has, sorry, our NPC. This obviously is an NPC, right? Our NPCs have a number of things that they can do, right? And in particular, today in PlanShift, they can perceive something, and we have examples in the database pretty much everywhere. If I go here and I open any of our scripts, you will have, for example, a reaction to a specific event, and the event is talk, right? This is just an example, but if I open another one, there will be others. So this one, for example, is reacting to an event stand, or is reacting to an event that the player is close to this NPC, right? And there are many others. If I take this one, which is probably one of the biggest, I think. No, it's not this one. It's probably the previous one then. Because it is the dummy database, so here unfortunately we don't this one has something, yes. So if we take this one, you see already here it is a fighter, so he has a number of events like fight, attack, damage, target out of range, etc. So for example, the simplest is that if he's getting attacked, it just answers with the fight behavior, and the fight behavior is defined here as let's say locating the object, rotating toward that object, and then just starting a melee attack. Okay. And so there can be another one which is, I don't know, target out of range. So if the target is out of range, then what I want to do, I want to chase, okay? And chase is defined here as another behavior with all these parameters. What is the chase range? What is the offset? What is the angle? Which kind of animation should I use? In this case, we are asking the engine to use the run animation and such, right? So this is how it works today. so yeah, so the point is that I think we have few things to I mean, we have to split few things to understand how we're going to do this, because we have to do this. Okay, so is something that is a relevant, critical part of the engine in our game, so we need to put it in place. So movement will be actually definitely done with Unreal, right? So in particular, here you have the nav mesh, which means it is the green thing that I was showing you before. You have the move to location, so the ability to move to a certain location, all the animations, blending, right? Yeah, this thing was like more like yes, animation blending, animation synchronization, um, etc. Right? All of that is also done with Unreal. That's no doubt 100%, 100% Unreal. Now, 100% Unreal. Now, the second point, which is perceptions, I think actually should be a mix. So we will have perceptions that are done with Unreal, and I think in this case the perceptions that are done with Unreal are the one that I showed you before. So mainly sight, noise, and noise, and I would say also proximity triggers, right? Which is another important point. So proximity triggers, So also this, I think we should do fully with Unreal. Yes, I think all of that we should do fully with Unreal. Now, there are other perceptions which are very special to PlaneShift. Well, or anyway, I think they are similar to any other game, but let's say that they can be maybe are not implemented in Unreal for whatever reason, but which, for example, are the attack. Well, actually, the damage is there, so maybe damage we will use the same one. I have to study that a bit, but damage is like a question mark. But there are others like speak to. So when someone is or let's call it talk, talk, I mean, someone talks to you, talks to an NPC, and NPC is reacting to that. There are other things like you start to trade. Trade could be also perception. Other things like combat or spells, right? Combat or spells, like if this NPC receives is the target of a spell that is doing damage, right? Or is a spell that is moving him or making him disappear or whatever. So these kind of things, I think we have already coded today in PlaneShift, and so I think this kind of perception should be PS, right? Now, what we can investigate is if this perception can be moved to Unreal, So if I can create something like, if I go under PS character and I select stimuli source, you will see here that there is a list. I don't know if it's too small, but let me try to print screen maybe and show it to you, because maybe it's too small. So wow. Okay, 1 second. I think it was a good idea, but a bad execution. Okay, now maybe it's too big, but these are the options that we have in Unreal today, right? Damage, hearing, prediction, sight, team, and touch. I have no idea what is prediction. I can understand what is touch, which is probably colliding with something. I have no idea what is team, but could be that your team is close to you. I mean, a team member is close to you. I don't know exactly what is it. Or maybe the team is sending you a trigger for something. I have no idea. I can check. And from the documentation on this is not really good. So if you search on the Unreal Engine documentation, I couldn't find much related to that. So I don't know. If you find something, let me know. But for sure, at least let's say. So the two main ones that we want to use are hearing and sight. Those two we will use for sure. The others I have no idea. Like prediction, what the hell is prediction? No idea. We will see. So maybe I can add more items here. So maybe I can derive from AI sense. AI sense. If I search I guess there are people that are creating, you see, a customized sense. You say there are already answer on that. You can create a iSense, you can derive from iSense blueprint. How can I do it? So maybe we can extend it, you know. I guess there is a class that we can extend. Pretty sure of that. Okay, so we have to find the right resource now. I don't have it, but I think we can expand on that. So maybe some of these perceptions, right, that are today in PlaneShift can become the same as the others inside Unreal. That step, I don't know yet. I don't know how to do it, but maybe we can, right? Yeah, the collision. Yes, Cyborg. The collision that we did for the NPC was this trigger. Is exactly this trigger. It's an interact trigger that when you are close to a certain NPC, you get on component overlap or on something like that, on actor overlap or begin overlap, something like that. You get an event, and you can then do all the checks you want in the blueprints and do that. So it is one of the ways we can do it. The problem is that this perception is a sphere, you know, and in certain cases we don't want a sphere. In certain cases we want like the living armor that I was showing you before. We want a cone, right? A cone of sight in front of the NPC, right? So we can use different techniques. We can use that. We can use this, but like talk, trade, combat, and spells are all very special, right? Are all very special ones. So if I go here in our documentation, which is documenting the existing game, we see that there are really quite a number of perceptions. There are attack perceptions, collision perception, damage, death, even faction for whatever reason, items, location, spell, spoken to. Yeah, spoken to maybe is more understandable. And time. Time is actually the one where we started all this journey, you know, because I wanted to have the NPC do something at a certain time, and then I started this, you know, so I started to go in this direction. So time will be the first one that we do, I guess, right? Because now the engine is already sensing the time, the server is already passing the time to the client, and so we can already trigger this event. By the way, consider that all of that is running server side only. The client is only a viewer of this, but everything is decided and set on the server side. right? So yeah, Cyborg, maybe you didn't follow the latest streams, but today we already have a number of let's say artificial intelligence capabilities that I added just for test, which are let's say, for example, the NPC that can follow us just when he can see us, he can follow us, right? So there is already a chase operation that is done. My only issue is that those operations are pretty basic. They are not included in a framework that allows us to expand or to do more stuff. So I think that the ways today in Unreal is extremely simple, right? So it's just providing the basics, but we need a much better system to do what we want to do with the NPCs. Hello, Amy. How are you today? So let me show you what we have. If this thing logs in, the server is still starting up. That's the problem. So it takes a bit to the server to start up, considering that now we are loading more and more information, including waypoints, quests, NPCs, and stuff. So the point is that our NPC as a trigger that when she sees me, in this case she saw me, she will start to chase me. If she loses me for 3 seconds or 2 seconds, then she will stop chasing me, right? Maybe Cyborg didn't see this, but it's very simple. It's done in a very simple way. You see, I hide behind this and she doesn't see me, so she will never chase me. As soon as I go and I stand in a place where she sees me, there is a kind of a check every 3 seconds, so I may not hit that now, but I hit it now, you see. So she saw me and she started to chase me. And she does nothing else than just finding my position and trying to go to that position using the navigation pad, right? Considering she's using navigation pad, if I go in a place that is not part of the navigation, she will not be able to follow me, right? So I think that now she's like stuck forever. Right? Yes. I think she's fully stuck. There is another movement. There is the living armor, which as long as is seeing me in front of her, she's not moving, right? She's not allowed to move. And she's printing on the server something like, I see this, you see, I see this. So it's seeing me as a character. As soon as I move behind and the armor doesn't see me anymore, you see, she starts to run. Okay? So this was just another example to show that the sensing, the visual senses are properly working and are say another working like that. No, it's not doing it with behavior. Yeah, it's doing it with behavior. Yes, it's doing it with behavior. Exactly. It's just an example. Even if at the end I think I don't like behavior, so I don't think we will use them because I find them a bit limited. Yeah, the other thing that the engine provides, I really feel like Super Mario when I'm standing on behind this and I'm hitting with my head on the candle. Boink, boink. Boink, boink. So the point is that all of that is cool. So this means that for everything that is move to location, nav mesh, chase, okay, also chase, I think I forgot chase, but it's another important one, right? Chase a certain NPC, all of that will be absolutely Unreal, right? Then what we have learned is that, yes, we have learned also about the behavior trees. We created one here, okay, this behavior tree which can be used, but at the end, I don't know, I don't feel the behavior trees are really great for what we want to do. They are, first of all, they are U assets, and this means that we have to distribute them with the client or with the server, and I really don't like the fact that I have to stop the server, relaunch it, load a U asset, you know, and this U asset is a kind of a physical thing. I think that all of this should stay in the database and we should be able to change it dynamically in the database, reload it as much as we want, and not being fixed inside a blueprint. So that's the main reason why we probably not use this. So continuing with our discussion, yeah, the other perception we will probably have with PlaneShift. So this one will be specific perceptions, right? Then we have the behaviors. The behaviors are basically the reactions to a perception. Okay, so I perceive something and I execute something else, right? So for example, you see here, I react to fight and I trigger the behavior of fight. I react to target out of range and I execute chase, right? Yes. One thing that is very interesting of this system, so the behaviors I think should stay exactly as they are. Right? That is my feeling. They should stay exactly as they are. So I think the behaviors should be should definitely be PlaneShift. Also because in Unreal they don't exist. There is no behaviors in Unreal, so behaviors will be PS. Now we have a few other things. We have well, first of all, let me speak a bit about the perception. The perceptions are actually, to my understanding, but I'm not 100% sure, the perceptions can be defined dynamically, believe it or not. I don't know exactly where, but let me do where script like perception or percept or whatever. Why is finding perception inside of this? Perception. Okay. There is a perception inside of it. Ah, it is. Locate object perception. Now, this is not what I wanted to say. Locate object perception is always the same. I don't remember if the perception can also be scripted. This I don't remember. But I think I saw like percept event move, percept event local move. These I don't remember exactly what it's doing. If it's defining the perception or if it's just saying trigger that perception. Probably just triggering it. Yeah, that part I still have to look it up a bit because I don't remember how it's done. But all of this are perceptions, I think, generated by the engine, like tribe, breed, tribe, build, unbuild, buy, explore, hunt, mine, resurrect. So all this stuff are all perceptions, right? So it adds to the list. There are 1 million related, for example, to tribes. Right? I don't know why I used such a huge font. so I have no space for anything, but it's fine. We can just do this, I guess. So all the tribes code, all the tribes perception are also PS. So behaviors are PS. Now, I don't know what I wrote there with operations. Operations, I think I meant the these ones, like locate object, and the operations are documented. The operations are documented here as well, right? Yes, behavior operations, there it is. So these are basically the content of a behavior. These are the content of the behavior. These are all the things that we can do and we can script. So inside a behavior, you can put all this stuff, right? You can tell the NPC to talk, to teleport, to run a script even, right? And the script maybe is a spell or is a whatever script to move to something. So these are all our operations, right? Now, some of these, also this operation will be kind of a mix, because for example, I think, yeah, the behaviors is 100% PS. I have no doubt on that, because they don't exist in Unreal. Now, the problem I have is on operations, right? So what I do with operations? Operations are stuff like operations, because operation. Hello, Davide. Welcome. Davide, that you see on the chat, is one of the developers working on the rules. Is like the main one, and he did a lot of work on the rules, mainly on quest, NPCs, and also a lot of the crafting. I mean, most of the stuff that you see today is being made or at least touched and reworked, you know, from the rule side by Davide. And ciao Davide. And there is about a 20-second delay before from where you write down something in the chat and from where I see it, because there is a bit of delay in the stream. So, but I see there's all these operations. There are some which definitely are a bit weird to me. There seems to be a duplicate, because we said chase here in the okay, because movement is part of operations. That's why. Okay, movement is just a type of operation. So maybe we should have this one, you know, a kind of a sub bullet of operations. This is probably the way it is, right? Yes, this is the way it is. So let's move this up. So operations as a sub bullet, which is very relevant, which is all the movement operations. And on this one, we already said that we will use Unreal for all the operations that are related to chase, move path, move to, navigate. All this stuff will all be done with Unreal. We don't need any of that to be done with the old Wonder operation, I think, right? Or anyway, they may be here, but they will call Unreal code. They will not call PlaneShift code, right? Yeah. So, but all the others like emote, eat, whatever, drop, the equip, I mean all this stuff. So it's all the item. I don't know. There are a million others. I cannot list them, but there are all the others basically, which are like eat, drop or pick up item, and whatever, a million others, right? Sit, stand, blah blah blah, right? All of this, I think they should go through PS code, right? So this will be PS code, I think. Yes. Well, actually, this one will be still scripted. right? So this will be PS scripted, so it will still go through a PS script, which then calls Unreal, right? Which then calls Unreal existing functionality, right? So it's not true to say that it's only Unreal, because we will not have only Unreal. So this is what it is. This is what it is. Okay. Now waypoints. I think that those at the moment, I mean, I don't like too much the fact to have some actors on the client side. So as I said, we will do it the way we already converted the code, which is by the way, David, if you didn't see it yet, there is an NPC here, they can follow me. Unfortunately, I think that she's kind of stuck into the fountain, but she follows me wherever I go. I don't think she can exit from there, because the step is too high for her to go up. But okay, she can exit from there for whatever reason. So maybe there is one side of the fountain which is lower. But this NPC is chasing me. You see? Chasing me with just simple Unreal code. Were you here at the beginning of the stream, Davide, or not? Because maybe you didn't see some of the capabilities, but she has a sense of sight, and so when she sees me, she checks every 3 seconds, and when she sees me, she will start to chase me, like now. You see? It does it every 3 seconds. If I hide and she doesn't see me for enough time, like now, she will stop chasing me. So here I guess she doesn't see me because there is the rock in between, but if I go like up here, or if I go here, yeah, she will start to chase me. No. And to do that I did nothing. I did zero. I mean, the engine just is able to chase, so the chase is a basic operation. You were here at the beginning? Okay, nice. Did I show you how to generate? If I get rid of this freaking annoying girlfriend, 1 second. Let me see. I did it. Did you see that I can generate NPC just by pressing a key? That is quite some NPCs. They will all start to move in theory, but I just disconnected the code and then make them move. But in theory, if you see one of the previous streams, I did exactly the same, and each of them was starting to run in random directions, running around and searching specific waypoints on the map. So yeah, you love the engine because there are so many girls. That's one. But okay. So yeah, what I was saying, got distracted by the girls. What I was saying. Ah, yes. So yes, we can probably call these other functions. So I mean, all these functions at the end will call a real code. What I'm saying is that many of them will just act on PS code. So they will, like when you drop an item, like you drop an item today already. If I open my inventory and I drop my item, then there is obviously interacting with Unreal because I see the 3D object, but nearly all of the code is the PlanShip code because it's putting the item on the ground and then it goes into the database, it's removing it from my inventory. If I pick it up, it goes here, increase the stack and all of that. Right? Did you see the stats window? Maybe you saw it already. The stats window. There is our stats and skill window, where we have, let's say, different ranks for combat, magic, and for each one we can click here. There is no icon at the moment for whatever reason, but you have all the information like what happens when you reach a specific level, a specific rank. So like Crystal Way is level 22, so you reach this. Here you have your description, then you have your progression point, your health, your carry weight, carry space, you have your jobs, you have your values, you have your magic, your stats, whatever. Okay, so yeah. So the other point is waypoints. So waypoints, I think they should stay exactly as they are today in Planship, right? So, and by the way, we are already loading them. So the work that we did the other day was to convert waypoint. Where did we do this? It's under utils. Probably under utils, yes. We converted edge, location, path, and waypoints, and all of those are already loaded by our server. So when the server starts, it's actually already loading waypoints, and so it's also telling us somewhere. I don't remember where is it. It's probably before the quests, but yeah, before the quests. There are too many, so I cannot show you. But anyway, it's loading already the waypoints, right? So to me, waypoints is not a big question. Waypoints are, again, plane shift. So I think that is the plan, right? I think that is our plan. At the moment, I don't have any other plan. That is the plan. Yeah. I think I don't have any other plan, and it is the plan. So this is how we're gonna do it. So I would just briefly tell you what I discussed yesterday with Magodra, with Anders. He was very positive about the current scripting engine. So he said that to him is extendable enough, is smart enough because he has the inheritance system, so you can inherit behaviors one from the other, that it can be extended with additional perceptions. So overall, he said, don't change it, you know, don't change it and go, right? Don't change it and go, which is a good point. So I also sent an email to the other people. I got an answer actually from Davide, which is connected here, and I can show you maybe his answer without showing the email. Let me just get it. Let me just get the text. If I can get the text. Wow, it's a lot of text. Okay, it's a lot of text. Be ready. So these are all my questions, so let's remove them. I don't care. So there is the answer of Davide, which is here, by the way, on the chat, which is saying that the current behavior and reaction system is pretty smart. So far I can tell it's one of the theoretical approaches for machine learning. So medium should be present. So it's saying that, I mean, the end, as it is, it seems to be satisfactory. The only point that he's saying is that what we are missing today is this part. For example, they could come to learn a cast file protection buff whenever they play it. So I think is a bit about being able to better store in the memory of the NPC some parameters, variables, or anything else. So for example, the NPC could decide that if he killed 10 people, he's then satisfied and he goes home, you know, maybe he's an assassin, whatever. Or an NPC may see that if he bought like 3 or 4 things from different merchants, then is enough and he can go home. So these kind of variables at the moment are not really easy to script or possible to script. So the NPC, what he's saying is that he's lacking like long-term memory, right? about the script. So another question I had was about the scripting. So if this scripting is a mess, or if this scripting is usable, right? Because I never worked with this scripting too much, right? But for example, David and other people, and for sure Magodra as well, but many other people work with that. And so the point was, is it easy to use or is a mess? Because if it's a mess, maybe we have to change it, right? The answer is that, speaking about the current script organization, I find it pretty good. I work hard to organize the current script, trying to break them down to smaller behavior reactions. I think the ability to inherit one module is pretty smart, because we have the ability to inherit, right? So for example, a guard may inherit the base behavior to move, and then the fight behavior, and so the guard fight will have both and such, right? So yeah, one of the issues there is the movement system, but with the movement system we are going to fix that with Unreal, so there's not a problem at all. Then another question I asked was about this initial value, because if you see in our system, every behavior has an initial value, then a growth and a decay. So it means that if you have, I don't know, go to work as 50 in terms of priority, but then you get attacked, and attack as 100 as priority, and so you react to that attack, you stop going to work, you stop that behavior and you start another behavior. So that's the idea, right? So that behaviors can, then when the fight is finished, you restart your previous behavior. So that's a bit of the idea of this value. One of the questions was like, are we really using this? Is it a mess? Is it the right way to do it? The answer seems to be that yes. The answer seems to be yes. So I don't know, David. You are in the chat if you want to say something else. But I think that this image pretty much summarized, and for me, it gives it gives a go to proceed. To me, it gives a go to proceed. We already had 2 go, one from Magodra and another one from Davide. So we theoretically have 2 okay. On my side, I think I'm fine as well. So we have 3 votes, let's say, at least, and no one is against it at the moment. I still wanted to speak with Keith. I sent him a message. I hope he answers, because I would like to know what he thinks about it. Because he's the guy that actually made the system, the original system. Then it got expanded by many other people, but he's the guy that did it. So when you go in our source code, in NPC behave, and you go at the beginning, or in, maybe not in NPC behave, but in some of the other files, yeah, you will see something like, you see key full-time. This email is not his email anymore, I think, but it is the guy, this is the key I was saying. So he's the guy that coded most of this, right? Okay, enough talking. I think I talked it for 1 hour, but this was just a summary. So to me, the plan is to do this. Let me save it somewhere. I will call it Unreal NPC AI. Unreal NPC AI plan, right? So we have it saved. Now, what is needed to do this? Yeah, that's the problem. What is needed to do this? So, well, it's not that terrible. I mean, I was looking at it before starting the stream, and it's not that terrible. So, I mean, it's a lot of code, but it's not impossible. I think it's possible. So there are there are few major classes involved in this, which I already moved in Unreal, but I didn't do yet a lot of manipulation. In fact, as you see in this file, everything is red. Right? So we have millions of errors at the moment. But there is the reaction system, which is the one react to something, right? There is the perception system, which we have to adapt somehow. There is the behave system, so behavior fight, behavior go to home, etc. And then there is a very big class, which the CPP is 6,000 lines, so it's pretty big, which is called NPC operations, and is basically all the operations that you can put into a script. So this is what we have to convert. If we convert all these classes, I think we will be at probably 50% of the work, you know. I don't know, I'm just saying a number, but I think we will be already in good shape if we convert all of these classes. How much time is needed? I have no idea, but I don't think it's days. I think it's hours. Well, maybe it's days. I don't know. I mean, I think that in 20 hours of work, I don't know, something like that. Maybe less, maybe 10, I have no idea, but it can be converted. And that would be like the first piece. Then, when this is done, we will have to connect it to Unreal, which is maybe more of the longer, you know, kind of the longer part, but I don't know yet. So, so it is basically the end of the fun part of the stream. So, fun part of the stream is finished, right? Fun part meaning the part where I speak about something and we do something and we discover something and we now the freaking C++ coding starts. So if you all want to run away and say, oh my god, what is this C++? Keep me away from it. I go to watch a movie, I go to play a video game. If you want, go. But if you want to stay with me, that's definitely nicer. So if you want to stay with me, stay with me. Okay, so we are going to convert this thing. Where do we start from? I think that, let me check which class if there is any independent class. I think reaction is the simplest, right? The only substitution that I did up to now was to change fstring to, CString to fstring and such, an array to array, blah, blah, blah. So all of that is done already. I'm checking if we are getting any errors on this file, but it seems we are not. So this H file seems to be pretty much okay. Now let's see the reaction CPP. Right, this one should have a lot of errors. Let's give some seconds to IntelliSense to wake up and see what happened, Cyborg. By the way, did you download the latest? I don't know if it compiles, by the way, because I may have left out a few pieces, but did you? Maybe I can just check in what I have. But if you have any error, if you get any errors of any kind, let me know, okay? I can fix them. Okay, so these are the errors that we have in this file, all the red parts. There are some easy ones, like these ones are the easy ones. We can definitely convert them all very simply. We just go here. Yeah, it's not compiling. Could be. Can you tell me the errors that it gives you, and I can fix it? Because some parts may be still. You know what? Check the comments. Check the comments, and if you go Tortoise SVN show log. You see my last check-in. It says temporary check-in, ignore, use the next one. And I never did the next one because the code here is broken. The code here is broken, here is broken, here is broken. So the best version at the moment is 391. But maybe what I can do, I can check in something that still works, you know. It's not very easy though, because it means, let me try. Will not be very easy, but let me try. Commit. If I commit everything excluding the NPC behave, I think you should be able to compile. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you should be able to compile. I think. Use this version to compile. I think I've fixed most of the errors. Okay, I will try to check in like this. Let's see if we have any conflict with yours. No, we don't. Perfect. Very good. Let me update so I have your changes. Nice. You did changes to something else, so it's perfect. We didn't overlap. Pretty happy about that. Why you have new access? You're adding new. I will check it later, but you are adding new assets. By the way, I didn't save all, but are you adding new thingies? Normal X. Well, can you tell me what is this? I mean, if it's the same X that we have, just in a different format or whatever. Because we already have, I mean, this X is already here, I think, under axis, right? I think it's exactly the same one, a very, very similar one as this one, normal X, right? Maybe you already did the texture or something. Use this one. I don't know, anyway. Do what you think is needed, but try to compile with the latest and see how it goes. Okay. Okay. So sorry, I was saying that I want to convert this part. I want to convert this part. So we need a ulog. Let's convert all the ulogs massively. Okay. And see where we land. So the fastest way to do this work is to do all the similar things at the same time. Node get value. I think this will probably return. So iDocument node, we have to change it to fx node. Also, this one we can do massively. Let's do massively Let's do massively this. Whenever we have this, we can substitute it massively with this one. No questions answered. Okay, it's doing all the substitution. 137? Are you serious? Okay. I guess that every single NPC operation is reading an XML. So that's why we have 1,137 substitutions. Holy moly. Holy moly, friends. Okay. So this node get value, I think it doesn't exist in our world. Node. Why IntelliSense is sleeping again? Sleeping again. Okay, let's do this while he's sleeping. Let's do this second part while. All the get data can be removed if it's a string, right? And we assume that this one is a string. Not get value. I think not get value doesn't exist. Is get value existing? No, it's not. Instead of get value, I think we need get tag. If I remember, yes. If applied to an element. So I would say we can also do a massive change maybe. This is a bit risky though. Not get value, not get tag could be risky if we do it massively. No, let's not do this. Let's do it manually. I know it's annoying, but let's do it manually. Event type is a string and get tag is a string. So all of this we have to have a pointer at the beginning. Okay. Get attribute value. If is a string is actually translated just to get attribute, right? So node get attribute, if node get attribute delta. So I don't know if get attribute is returning. I think we should say is not empty, right? If we say if node is not empty, do this, then I think it's fine. Because I don't think we can check if it exists. There will be a million of this. A million. Be ready, boys. Be ready, boys. Because this will take a bit. This will take a bit. This will take a bit. What the hell? Ah, yes, I have to do this. Node attribute delta. Okay. If you have any question, meanwhile, you want to chat, you want to just speak about anything, let me know. Just write down something and I will answer. So all the float we have to convert like this. Name is fine as get attribute. There is another float. Ouch. There is an int. Get attribute as int. What is it? Is this one. Ouch. Okay. Cyborg, did it work with my check-in? NPC client. Okay, this one we will do it later because at the moment I don't have an answer to that. Values push, HUI, value string, f string. Just need to do this. Anyway, the code, if you see, the code stays basically the same. There are very, very small changes I have to do. Very small changes I have to do to adapt it. And most of the changes are all the same, This one also has a default, but I don't think we have the ability in the current code to have defaults, so I think that we just go like this. And we hope for the best. They are fixing a lot of errors very quick. NPC debug, I have no idea what is it. This one we will all do later. All of this we will do later on. Yeah, not many errors anyway. Cyborg, I would like to know if he compiles. This one should be if num. This one was saying if it's not empty, so we should say if num is greater than 0, right? In the same year. This become if num is greater than 0. Okay. Well, that was pretty quick. I mean, it's not finished, obviously, but this first pass was quick. Yeah, let's do the compare no case, which are a bit annoying, but compare no case, I have to do compare and then add all of that. So I have to do compare and then my string comma this. It is a compare no case. Okay, we did those two. Okay, let's finish the error ones. Do we want to have a log for NPCs? I think we have one already, no? Let me check. Do we have a specific log? Because we should start to separate the logs a bit. We have a log for NPC dialogue, but we don't have a log for NPC brains or NPC AI. I think is what the old code was calling. I think is what the old code was calling NPC debug. NPC debug. Let me see what is this, because I don't think we have it in the new code anywhere. NPC debug. What is this? Is defined inside NPC. Define a variable macro for debugging printout of NPCs. In this way, only the check is debugging is executed for each NPC unless debugging is turned on. Using the printf function will cause all args to be resolved, resulting in a lot of speed CPU. Interesting. I still don't understand what it's doing. I mean, it's calling this with wander not point, so it's calling this function. Which is only for NPC debug. which in theory in production we could remove, right? We could compile without this line. I could compile without this line. Is there a way to tell to the compiler to remove certain lines for production? That would be interesting. I think you need to know. You need to use the if-def, right? If-def something, and then you don't define it, and yeah, probably. That's an interesting concept. I never thought about it. Okay, so we want to keep the npc debug. Do we want to keep this function as it is, or do we want to just change it to our standard printout? Or by the way, is this npc debug something that we have? npc is debugging. What is this npc is debugging? What is npc, by the way? Is the npc client or the single npc? Check if this npc is debugging at the given level. Remote debug. I mean, to me, this looks already too complex. It's something that maybe we did because from the console we could debug a specific NPC, but you know what? I think we should use the same way Unreal doing it. So from the client, you see, you can enable, disable things like waypoints. I think it's better. I think it's definitely better. So let's I don't know, I'm a bit unsure if I want to remove it, but because it's a bit of a pity, you know, to remove it if it was here. Can I declare it on? Can I declare it somewhere? Because this one is actually checking. The checking that it's doing is checking if this remote debug, but this class we don't have. We don't have this thing. So this one is under the project in 2013, so it's relatively new. 2013 is very new. Wow. Should we leave it out for now, and maybe we can leave it out. How many NPC debug we have? Millions, I guess. Huh? Because this one was defined in remote debug, which I guess is included somewhere here. Maybe from NPC. Yeah, maybe from NPC. Okay, let's fix all the errors first. And then we will do this NPC debug, which I think we have to do some. I mean, I don't want to remove the code. I just want to call maybe something different. So I'm converting all the error messages. There is an array of f strings, so there is no need to do this. And get event type is returning an f string as well, so there is no need to do this. Condition is also an f string. Just trying to catch the measured ones, then we will go line by line later on. Okay. Okay, there is an append format. Let's do this one. So this one is append dot this thing. and then values we just have to check if it's, this one is an int, so it's fine. Okay, okay, let's go line by line now. I think there are very few errors left, so, well, not very few, but a few. So the first one is PS split. PS split, I think we have it. PS split, we do something like this. So the split target we declare as an array of f string. Okay, fine. Then what do? We do target, which is this one. So name. Name is an array. What is it? No, name is an f. Sorry, is an f string. Name dot parse into array of name, and then we have text distance. Okay. Do you like it? No? No, sorry, names. Okay, I liked it. Behavior find. Behavior find is searching const char. Well, you know, const char I don't think is a great idea. Let's move it to f string. This is inside npc behave. Okay, it is inside npc behave, and it's called find. So we also need to change. Yes, we also need to change this. Okay. It compiled. Okay, great. I'm happy about that. So yeah, so if that compile is good, meaning that you have everything excluding the new behavior stuff, but the new behavior stuff is the classes that I'm changing now. So it will not work for you. I mean, it's still under work, right? Still under work. Sorry, one second. I just take a drink. Cyborg, I think at the current state, we should coordinate a bit on what you do and what I do. If you start to be active again. Can you tell me what are your plans? I mean, what are you planning to do, just to understand which area you will work on? And for example, one thing that will be very needed will be to improve the current UI that I made. I made some UI, so I added just the functionality to the UI, but I didn't make the window look pretty or anything else, right? And maybe that's something that you could do with your skills on the client side. Also, you should check the stuff I did on buttons. In particular, we have now under widgets new buttons that have specific new functionality that I think we can keep across all the windows. So there is WD. By the way, all the controls, all the widgets, the widget controls are now renamed WD underscore. All the windows are renamed win underscore. Okay, so you cannot confuse them anymore. But for the button, there is a WD button here, which has some functionality. So it can have an icon and is publishing to the father the event of click. Okay? So this is what I'm using pretty much everywhere in the UI now. The only point is that this guy has to be initialized with a value, otherwise it doesn't show anything. Okay? But anyway, if you tell me what you want to work on, maybe we can coordinate a bit. From my side, I think the majority of the next days and time, say my free time, will be dedicated to this behavior, reaction, and operation system. So we'll be mostly coding. I'm not planning to do much, if any at all, on the client side or on the other systems. My objective is to be able to connect the behaviors, sensing the change of time, which is now properly published to the client, to the blueprints, and then having the NPC execute certain operations at a given time of the day. So at 5 p.m. they return from work to home, and at 6 a.m. they go to work, and something like that. Right? So that is what will be the outcome of this work that I'm doing now. But if you have other, but yeah, if you can tell me what you're doing. Okay, I'm back. So I was just taking a drink. Um, Now, let's go through this. So this one we fixed. We have another PSS split. We should do exactly the same. So we take the string array, then we take this guy, which is the string. We do parse into array of our string, of our array, right, and this. No, but I have to do this is the string array equal to our string parse into array. No, I don't have to do equal. No, equal is wrong. So. And this one has to be text, like I said, text. Okay. We have another one. Okay. This A to E, we do it this way. Right. There's another split. In this case, we have our string declared already. Our array is declared already. So we just do tmp parse into array of this, and then text of this. Okay. Why is doing the same thing twice? No, it's not exactly the same. It looks the same, but it's not the same. It's putting in two different variables. Okay, we did that. Hello, whoever joined, welcome. We are working on the conversion of some of the C++ code related to behaviors and seeing how tough this is. Let's see. At the moment seems to be okay. So ps_get_random is actually this. My conversion table is so nice. ps_get_random, but if I have ps_get_random with a number, ps_get_random of get_random, okay. Provide a number between 0 and 1. Get_random limit provides a number between 0 and limit. What is this random things? Randoms? What is this? What do we do with this? The code is the random field is in the form random 1, 2, 3. What the fuck is this? Do we have the ability to specify random numbers in our behaviors or in our operations? This is what it's saying. Be confused about what that is. I don't know. Random. If true, returns the radius. Random point. Rotate operation. But it seems that it's searching a value. I mean, it seems it's searching a list of values and then it's randomizing between the list of values like this, you know? I don't understand that too much. Like if my behavior, I mean, my behaviors can have some sort of random. Yes, it's this one. Use it to add some random values to the value array. Use it to add some random values to the value array. It's not very clear, but random 5000. The example show a reaction to a time event that will occur between 1600 and 1605. Okay. Between 4 o'clock and 4 o'clock and 5 minutes. Okay, I see. Okay. Fine. I didn't know that. So what he's trying to do is trying to get a random number of that list. Okay. But I don't know if this is doing that. I don't think it is doing that because this is getting a random value of values dot num. Desired value. I don't understand this part. Values randoms. It's taking the values, and I guess that the values are those ones, right? Yes, I guess those are. So for each of the values, is executing this function, which is doing get random valid. What is get random valid doing? Is doing if I is minor than random. Okay, so it has to be one of the numbers. It returns. Okay, so basically it returns that value. Okay, it's fine. So it gets that value, for example, 16. This will return 16. And then is adding a number between 0 and okay, 0 and 5. Okay, so okay, fine. This should be a float or an int? No, it should be an int. Okay, so I need to finally understood what it's doing. So we need to randomize. It's pretty simple. We need to randomize an integer from 0 to that number. Okay, was as simple as that. Which then gets added to the first number, which is, for example, 16, becomes 17, or 1600 becomes 1601, etc. Right? Okay. Fine. Now who is an NPC? NPC we don't have. So NPC is another class. NPC is another class that we don't have at the moment. The question is, do we need it? I fear to know the answer. I fear I know the answer. I fear to whatever. To know the answer. Because let's see what NPC does. I don't know if it's another one that we have to add. Probably yes. Probably yes. NPC. NPC is now go to the definition, please. So NPC is defined in npc.h, which is a class that we don't have at the moment. Class that we don't have at all at the moment. Class that is 1000 lines. 1000 lines. Being created in 2003. Some of you were not born. Let's see what it does. Okay, apart from defining this NPC debug, which is okay, nice. It defines the hate list, for example. I mean, the hate list we need. The hate list, I think we need. I think we need this, but how do we connect it to our existing data model? Okay, the hate list is fine. We need that. Now the NPC is scriptable. He has this remote debug attached, and this one, which I have no idea what it is. Scoped timer DB, timer CB. Callback function for scoped timer. Use this in special processing beside getting a warning message to be done with the scope of a long time. No idea. Structure to hold located positions. The position of the located object. The sector of located object. The angle. The nearest waypoint to located object. So here there is a part of the brain of our NPCs, right? This is what I see. I don't know. It seems there is a part of the brain, but now why we don't have it? Why we don't have it in our PS character class? I guess we don't have it there for sake of cleanness. I mean, to keep the things separate. But then what else this class has? The class has a buffer hash. Old brain, original type, PID, name. I'm thinking that this part should go in our PS character, you know. I mean, like the last year time, last year moving, all of that we will not use anymore, okay? Because there is basically, these are all the functions related to moving, you know, to movement, and all of this we do it with Unreal Direct. We have a few other things like walk velocity, run velocity, angular velocity for rotation. All of this also we do with Unreal directly. Then we have the scale. Okay, fine. We have the scale. And this one also, I think, is a property of our PS character. This one I don't understand. Region name is loaded from the DB. So we have a region for the NPC. Then we have the last perception. Okay, understand that. We know if he's alive, but it is the same as for a character. We have potentially the owner and the target ID. This one is completely obscure to me. I have no idea what is it. Then here we have also a pointer to the tribe. Right, so he knows his own tribe, and he knows the tribe, which kind of type is in the tribe. Then if he's inside the home or not. Spawn position, spawn sector, race info. Well, there is a bit of a duplicate, you know, of the character. All of this also is a duplicate. All of that is a duplicate. Controlled actors. Wow, actors that are dragged, pushed around by this NPC. So the NPC can have a pet. This is what you're saying? Can our NPCs have pet already? I never knew that. We can, but I never seen that. Okay. Initial position check. Falling off the map. Advance. Advance I think is advancing the brain. Advance I think is advancing the brain. Yeah, brain advance. Update controlled, yeah. This class is very interesting, huh? This class is very interesting to us because it's basically the brain of the NPC. It's the brain. I would rename it NPC brain, but so you know maybe this one can go into a controller. And yeah, I think it should go into a controller, right? I think it should go into a controller. And then the controller be attached to the actual pawn, right? Because this seems to have all the characteristic of our brain, of the brain of the NPC. The only problem I have with that is why in the brain we keep stuff like HP, mana, stamina, and mental stamina when I already have all of that into my PS character. Why I'm keeping those things again? No idea. It doesn't seem to have a pointer to the actual character though. Okay, yes, it's hate list. Well, we should also have a love list. Why only have a hate list? It should be a love list, like people that he really likes. Deck, Capid, return to the NTID. Okay, there is the linear movement. There is the class that allows him to move, but this one we don't need anymore. Then we have some Death Reckoning. Also, this one we don't need anymore. All the Death Reckoning is not needed. All of that is not needed. All this is not needed. And then it's saying loads the NPC from one row of NPC definition. You also load the corresponding brain. SC NPC definitions. SC NPC definitions. I have it open already, is here. Okay. This table is saying for each NPC what is his brain basically, what is his behavior and yeah, it is our brain. It is the controller. It is the controller. In Unreal terminology, there is the AI controller. For what I may understand. So we should put all of this code into the AI controller. Let's check it until the end because it seems there is a lot of stuff going on here. Load, okay, is loading from a DB, is loading the basic information in his brain, is inserting a copy. We are only at 1/3 of the file. I'm scared to see what's below this. Because to me it is already finished, right? So what the hell he has next? Set the actor. Set the actor. So this one is probably the connection with the actual character, right? Okay, the name, if he's alive, if he's disabled or not. There is a difference with the player. Yes. Behavior, current behavior, the brain that he has, the original brain, set the brain, dump state, dump behavior. These are all dump functions just to print out, you know, what the NPC is doing. Send a okay, so here send a perception to this NPC. This one I don't like too much because If we are in the brain, we are not in the perception system, right? Or well, maybe we are, but in a real terminology, the perception is another component of our pawn, of our actor, sorry, of our actor. So, okay. So this is how he receives, this function is how he receives events, is how he receives perceptions. Right? He's setting the last perception, he's getting, then he has some function to get the hated people. So get the most hated, get entity 8, add to 8 list, remove from 8 list, set locate, active locate. Yeah, it's basically all the stuff that goes into the memory, right? This is the memory of the NPC. Is inside region. Okay, get nearest actor. So this is a perception. I don't know why it's here and it's not inside perceptions, but there is a I mean, it's a utility function to know which one is the nearest actor in range. So these ones maybe we can just remove. Because I guess the code connected to this is completely crystal space specific, so we can check it. Get nearest actor. Is getting the position of our actor, is find nearby actors, and then is filtering them by range, filtering ourselves out. Yes, it's setting location. Yeah, okay, so it's just utility functions to get nearest player, nearest NPC. It's fine. Get nearest visible friend. How do you know if he's a friend? Get the nearest dead actor, auto memorize. Set the tribe, get the tribe, is inside tribe. And then there is this. This I don't know. I mean, this we have already. Why we need this stuff? I have no idea why we have this stuff. All of that is already inside the character class. I don't understand why we have it again. I think it's probably because in the old system, the NPC client was a separate server, and so being a separate server, I mean, we had a different structure to keep the information, you know. So there is a lot of tribe stuff in here. And then there is an event that actually makes the NPC think, which is the tick. So it's ticking every, I don't know, milliseconds, and is advancing the NPC brain. Yeah, this is the brain anyway, it's the controller. It's exactly the controller, I think. It's exactly a controller. Let me check again in Unreal Engine terminology. What is exactly the controller, right? I'm searching if there is someone saying create a compelling AI for NPC for an open world. I mean, I think we know how to do it roughly, but more games, present love player, blah blah blah, explore, blah blah blah. Okay, that is the article. GG. NPC dialogue system. They could be interesting. Most games have a feedback system to let player know what's happening. No, 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 no. What is this guy doing? What is this guy doing? Just creating a simple way to interact and speak, I guess. I think so. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to another. I mean, let's stick to what we were doing. I want to understand in Unreal, controller memory. So I want to understand what is the memory of the NPC for Unreal, right? So in the real documentation, Unreal AI controller. I just want to know because I think they associate to this blackboard the memory. So the memory for Unreal is the blackboard if you are using behavior trees and the blackboard, right? So that's a bit of the point, but I'm not sure that this is the way we want to do it. Actually, it's not the way we want to do it, right? I need a bit of documentation, on this AI controller. Something that is more than 2 lines. Something that is more than 2 lines. Well, there is 3 lines. Yay. While the player control allows a human player to make decision what to do, the AI control is more focused on responding to input in the environment in the game world. The object of the AI control is to observe the world around and make decisions and react accordingly without explicit for the human player. Yeah, I think anyway that's this definition of our NPC brain. So, I mean, to me, if we put it into AI controller, it seems fine to me. I'm not, let's say, too scared now of putting it, but if there was a kind of an example or some more explanation of this, some more explanation of not how to use it, because I actually used it already. We have in our classes, we already have a subclass of a controller. I created it just for fun and to understand. This one is called PSAI controller, right? So this class is already a subclass that we can then associate. So our NPC code can go here, right? Exactly into this class. I would just rename it, maybe. I would call it NPC AI controller, something like that. But why so little information, So little information. A control is the base class of controllers. Controllers are non-physical actors that can be attached to a pawn to control his actions. The AI controller manages the artificial intelligence for the pawn they control. In network game, they only exist on the server. Perfect. This thing actually, as for what I see, as a blackboard. Automatically gets a blackboard connected. He also has a brain component. Has a brain component as a default? Interesting. So let me go and check my controller, right? I think I have a I think I have a follower AI controller. Okay, so this one is the one that I created through the example because it was an example too. But which kind of component he has? He has transform component, path following component. No idea what is it. Actions component. No idea what is it. Where I can find some documentation on this. Like for example, this action component, actions component seems to be very interesting to me. What is an action component? Create an action instance. Get action priority. Perform an action. Any one of you has knowledge of this? There is so little documentation on this. So little, so little, so little. So little documentation. Actions, working with assets, no. Simple interaction of the game, other component blueprint. You think it's named AI module? What do you mean? Can you find that? Can you help me to find some documentation on this? Because you know, at the moment we have another piece. We have another piece of our picture, which is the actual brain of the NPC, right? The brain, the brain and the memory. Is this color or this color? I think it's this color. The brain, which is basically the tick, no? The brain tick. So the things that advances our NPC and makes him take decisions, you know, and in advance, you know, and calls events and such. And the other piece is the memory of the NPC. So where we store information like, for example, the hate list, you know, the location of the tribe, so memory for like hate list, tribe location, tribe membership, home location, I don't know, whatever, right? So which is the stuff that let this NPC know. So what do we do about this one? Because in the old plan shift, this one was this thing kind of vertical. All of them, yes, except this one. What do we do with the brain? Can we map it to the AI controller fully? And if yes, can I get some freaking information on how it works today? Like if I want to have a description about, because this component, for example, action component, seems to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's coming from AI controller, but So how do I know all the AI perception, AI stimuli? This one I know already. But for example, these actions, it's not even, I cannot even add it. So it's probably special, but it's inherited, introduced in AI controller. So I don't know. I need documentation on AI controller. I need this documentation and understand exactly how it works in details. You know, I want the maximum detail possible. There was a Trello thing about adding Unreal documentation. Is this all? Is this still existing, or is it super old? Maybe it's super old. API Unreal Engine, int API runtime module, AI module. Look at filters of the module. Okay. So Unreal documentation under AI module. Well, I can do this. AI module. AI module framework behavior. No. Where is it in this left list? See filters of the modules. I don't know if it's under behavior tree or under should be under artificial intelligence, but maybe it's under behavior trees. I don't know. Physics, foliage, hierarchy, level of detail, matinee, performance, packaging, coordinate assets, okay, let me just check the URL you gave me, okay? Because you gave me a URL just without dots, right? api.unrealengine.com runtime AI module. Okay. Oh my god, there's a lot of stuff. AI module, actions, behaviors, blueprint, data providers, environment query, hotspots, navigation, perception, and tasks. Task is another one that is very interesting for me. But how do I? There is no documentation. Like actions, okay, actions, on action event, move, repeat, sequence, wait, component, okay, but I need a way to know how to use it, you know, to know how to use this stuff. Maybe AI module is a good keyword, you know, to search. Okay, AI module, we go here. Gameplay module. AI module doesn't exist here. Prone sensing components, because also the sensing is inside, you know, the perception, right? Site query event. Because, you know, if I don't know enough this part, I can make mistakes, you know. I can redo something that already exists, which would be pretty stupid. You know, if I don't know it enough, I may just create stuff that already exist, and that's not good. Hotspot. What the fuck is a hotspot? Environment query. Environment query is this EQS, right? I think EQS was that thing that we can simplify the search of objects around the NPC or stuff like that. That I understand, but I'm very interested in actions and tasks. Like it seems that because perception I understand, navigation I understand, behavior tree I understand, other providers I don't know, and blueprint I don't know, but environment query I understand. But action and tasks actually I don't know what they contain, and maybe they are very interesting, you know. Actions component. Action component is exactly the one that we have here. If I click on it, he has no details panel. He has nothing. It's just something that. And the same for tasks, right? AI module, tasks, actions. What are gameplay tasks? So when checking the push spawn action. Do you know what these were? So I said until I found the URL map, which is say the gameplay tasks are done. Essentially, they are basically objects that are used to generically do things. However, this is mostly speculation. There is a link here that maybe can help me. It's undocumented, just like the whole ability systems. You can figure out by going through the source code. Oh my god, really? Ability system, which is a specialized gameplay tasks. These ability tasks are characterized by usually having multiple accessible pins. To the blueprint node normally, but do assume regular gameplay tasks function similar to set up an action. Take things to take time to do things. Well, this guy at least explained something. This thread was 2016. People were still asking about it. You see, there is someone. I mean, the question was asking in 15, but then 1 year later, someone said, "Hey, any info?" And then someone said, "Look at gameplay task module, custom character creation." Let me check that meanwhile. A task and extension. This is a developer. This is the Mietasks. Is the guy that working on the AI. He's a developer of Unreal working on the AI system. AI task are an extension of gameplay task, and it is a main communication layer between all sorts of logic sources and the entity itself. In 4.14, I'm going to flip the switch, and BT tasks by default are going to spawn AI task instead of directly messing with AI agents. Both Paragon and Fortnite have been successful using AI task, gameplay task. I tried to our docs team, and they put gameplay task. Yeah. So yeah, we like documentation on this. This was 2 years ago. Well, no, it was October 2016, so not 2 years, but 1 year and a half. I've been successfully using iTask and ability task internally for a long time. And this to believe the most is there any sort of yeah, people here are asking July 17, so here we are coming to a pretty good date now. I think I can post again on this one. You assume wrong, good sir. We are just constantly busy with the number of BT nodes spawn, water bidding. So it seems that at the moment is a system that is not fully developed. Maybe you could be talking the next blog. I will answer to this. I mean, it's a post that is very old, but so it's not very etiquette, let's say, to revive it. But this is exactly the question, you know, tasks, and I would say also actions. So let me reply to this, and I would say text is required. Oh, no, sorry, it's already here. Sorry to bring again. Sorry to what? Sorry to bring up again an old thread, but this is exactly what I. But also I'm also searching documentation on tasks and actions before implementing my own system for that. Good night, Davide. So the original trade again documentation on task and action before implementing my own system for that. The way so we need actions for combat, for example special attacks, okay, for example special attacks, but also tasks like everyday activities, like harvesting food, drinking water, I don't know, something like that. I would like to know if I should extend the tasks actions already present in Unreal, but to do that we need some documentation slash tutorial which explains how to use those. Okay, I will post that and let's see someone answers, but definitely we need some documentation. So at the moment I'm not using those. I will not use those because I'm not gonna check the source code manually and maybe potentially use something that no one is using, and so maybe there are bugs, and I mean it's not really documented, and so I will not do that. I opened this window. It was a character creator. Let's see what it does. Easily create your own characters with multi-morph character creator. Completely customize the appearance of the character. Modify body, face, clothing, and props. Not for sale. What does it mean not for sale? So it's free. So it's not yet for sale. I don't understand. Maybe this guy was trying to make a mod, but then he didn't complete it. Yeah, it's basically as an editor to customize the bones, you know, to scale the bones of the. It's okay. He also has some materials for clothing and such, and also has something on the head like mouth. Yeah, it's just using morph targets, I guess, to change the appearance. I mean, we can do it in other ways. I mean, we can do it, but anyway, it's interesting to know. But it's not for sale, it's not shared, it's not anywhere. It's bringing to this site, but it's the guy with the RPG starter kit. Character creator. Character creator. Purchase on EU marketplace. Okay, you click here, and you go here, and it's not for sale. Okay. GG. I mean, it says to purchase, but then you cannot purchase. So, not really usable. Not for sale. I was having my credit card in my hand. I was willing to give millions and millions of euro for this, but I'm sorry, it's not for sale. Missed the opportunity. Let's see the other one. Multiplayer combat system. This one is for sale. This one is sales. Multiplayer melee combat system. Is it a solution for creating melee mechanics? Nice. Maybe we could buy it just to understand how it's done, you know? Very nice. He cut off the head of this guy. Wow. Wow. It could be interesting, but it also could be interesting to do it ourselves. But very cool. 78 euro is pretty high price, but if it's that high, means that he has content, you know. So usually people are not putting stuff that is bad on the marketplace, or no one will ever buy the game. So even if the comments are like 2.5, so not really many people super happy about it on the ratings, you know. So where do I see the people that voted? Can I see the ratings anyway? No. Okay. GG. Okay, so let's move on. We are losing a bit of time, boys. We are losing a bit of time. But basically, what I'm saying is that we could probably place inside the brain, tick, and memory. We are probably we can place inside AI controller. We can place inside our AI controller what we have now in NPC. Plane shift player controller base, plane shift AI controller. We can also call it plane shift AI controller. I have no problem on that, because anyway, an AI controller is an NPC by default, right? And there is a class. Now, do we also need a blueprint? Because at the moment that's a C++ class and doesn't have a blueprint associated. So what I could do, I could create the C++ class and then extend it. I could do create blueprint based on this class, and this will be our we can keep it as it is. I already created it, why not? It's derived from AI controller. I already have it here. I already have it here somewhere. Is here AI controller? Actually, I would like to put it into NPC client. Can I do this? Can I create a folder inside the C++ classes? No idea. New folder? No, I cannot create a new folder. It's impossible. Why? I want to move this class into another directory. Can I do it? No? This sucks. You know, but I can do the opposite though. I can, you know what is the simplest way? I can just move this class to another folder, recompile, and it will appear there, right? Then that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it, boys. And the moment is fully empty. Can I search on the internet anyone that has derived an AI controller in his life? 2014, no, 2014, no, please. AI controller, blah, blah, blah. I was trying to create an AI, but Visual Studio can't find a behavior tree component, micro component controller, blah blah. What I'm doing wrong? The includes you're looking for are this. Nice. Okay. Behavior tree component, blackboard component. Do we need these things? We don't need these things. Right? We will not use the blackboard at all. What is the benefit? That if you use the blackboard, maybe when we debug on the client side, we will see what it's doing. Because you know when you are using the thing here, when you are using this, and you are detaching from the player, you can see the other's AI, right? And you can also see which behavior they are executing. And so maybe if I put it on a blackboard, if I put my information on the blackboard, then I will be able to use the debug functions that are already embedded in Unreal, right? Which may be nice. Which may be nice. So I'm just writing a quick message to Cyborg asking if he wants to coordinate our efforts, let's say. I would like as much as possible to be sure that what it does is coordinated with what I do. Even if we are working on two different areas at the moment, but just to know. Why is not logging in? Please log in. Yes. Yes, you are ready to log in. Yes, log in. Go. Why is not logging in? The fun part. I don't know what is the server doing, but it's not accepting my client. Okay. I relaunch the client. For some reason it doesn't like me. Why is not connecting anymore? Socket queue. I don't understand. Is we finished the sockets? What's the problem? Why is not connecting anymore to the freaking server? Anything else running? Or, connection timed out. Okay, anyway, I don't know why it's not connecting at the moment. Connection timed out, closing connection. I don't understand what is going on. Why my server is not working anymore. No idea. No idea. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the debug functionality, but you know it already, right? So you can debug the NPCs, brain, etc. So if we use the Blackboard to store the data, that was the point. Maybe I will get automatically that for free. So at the moment, how we are assigning the AI? Very simple. When we load the NPC, inside our load thingy, so the character PS character loader, exactly here. At the end of the PS character loader, we are assigning the controller. So if I search controller here, and like this, no, okay, probably is inside character then. Could be under load, I think. Under load. There it is. Assign AI controller to this NPC, right? So what we are doing with this, we are assigning to this NPC, to our NPC, the follower AI controller, which is one that I created here with this follower, which is a blueprint, and is just the basic, you know. So what we could do, we could instead create, yeah, because here is the point where we should load different brains, I guess, right? Or no, because our brain system is dynamic already, so it will be one brain only, and then each NPC, yes, each NPC will act differently based on the scripting and everything. But anyway, this is the entry point where we assign the brain, and the actual code will go inside the PSAI controller, right? Yes. So everything that is inside npc.h, that is a bit of a mess, boys. Everything that is inside of this which we still have to port, by the way, because npc.h we don't have yet, right? Ported at all. We don't even have it in our code base. We have it here. Everything that is inside this class will go into my controller. So we just change the name of this class, and that's it. The problem is that I think in this file I have multiple classes. Oh my god. I have behavior? No, these are all the ones that are declared at the beginning. Okay, I was starting to be scared. We have only the hate list. I think as class we have the hate list, we have NPC, and then we have the tick, which is a game event. Okay, it's fine. We have these three things in our brain. The hate, the tick, and the NPC itself. Fine. So I think we can move all this code there. We can move all this code there. But this means that we have to port also this class. Maybe we can just comment out all the functions that we don't need, like get nearest NPC, all of that. And just comment them out for now to avoid porting all this shit. But it's really a lot actually. So how do we assign the other brain? Maybe let's do this and see if it works. Do we want to have a blueprint connected to this? We want to have a blueprint. I don't know if we want to have a blueprint, but there is one way, right? There is one way. So assigns a blueprint derived from AI controller to the NPC. There is one way, which at the moment I would I would not do it. And then this one is assigns a C++ class derived from AI controller to the NPC. So this will be the two different ways, right? So to do this, can I assign it like how do I do this? If I want to have my PS AI controller, right? If I want to have my PS AI controller class, is there a static something that I can call? You know it, huh? You know it and you don't want to tell me. I know. I know. I never used AI stuff in Unreal, not yet. Sorry, it was 7 minutes ago, but maybe the real question is, can we make behavior trees dynamically change and tutorial tips about how we can do it, about how can do it if we can. The problem I have with behavior trees are the behavior trees are static, and I really don't like it. They are U assets, and I really don't like it. I want all of that to be in the database, right? And I want all of that to be scriptable outside of Unreal, meaning not with static stuff that then I have to ship to the client or ship to the server, you know, to have it updated. So to me, it's not, I mean, the behavior tree is fine. I mean, it's a nice concept. I like it in theory, but in practice, I think we need way more flexibility than that. Way more flexibility. We are the next level of behavior trees, you know, with PlanShift already. So there's not enough for us. Come on. Yeah, exactly. Static class. I was searching that. I actually typed that, but freaking IntelliSense didn't help me. Why is not working? Because it's called APS AI controller. That's why. Isn't that thing a bit ugly? I mean, as a name, APS AI controller. Blah. Don't like it too much. It's a bit of a weird name, right? APS AI controller. But unfortunately, the A is added automatically. So EPSI controller. Okay. Anyway, this will be the other way, right? So in this way, we are assigning our control. Let me see if I can move that class somehow. If I save everything, if I close everything, if I move that in another directory, which is actually, because I would like to have that class under, let me close also the editor. Let me close also the editor. If I take this class, PSAI controller, and I just move it under NPC client, SVN move version item here, yes, good job. And now I generate sources, generate Visual Studio project files, and then I launch my PS Unreal again, right? I launch it with, yeah, I can launch it with this, right? Then will I see what I want to say, boys? Here I see what I want to see. Now the point is that this will never compile. So we're a bit stuck in the compilation thingy because all these classes are not compiling. Okay, so let's keep the things easy. I don't want to do 100 changes at the same time. We have decided that that goes into PSAI controller. So we were changing this class, right? Everything that is NPC, we redirect it to PSAI controller. So the first thing that we do here, we include, instead of including NPC, we include PSAI controller.h. Okay. And by the way, inside of this, the first thing that we do, we define that freaking NPC debug. So at least we have it. We don't have to. Is it defined with a define? Okay. I don't know. I mean, it's defined with a define. It's a macro. Okay. I mean, I'm not a fan of that actually, but okay. Let's keep it as it is for now and see what happens. Okay. So he has to be out of that. He has to go out of this. So it would be something like that. And yeah. NPCs debugging. So this NPCs debugging. What the hell is that? This is pointing to, I guess, one of the functions inside our NPC class. Right? No, it's going inside remote debug. Remote debug, because this one we don't have. Yeah, for now I will just copy this. And remote debug, I don't know if we really need. So let's do one thing at a time. If we want to convert everything at the same time, we will never finish this. So let's say that it is taken from remote debug.h, right? For now we leave it like this. We return freaking 0. We don't care about this. You fix me was this, and we just return 0. So it's never debugging. Okay, it's never debugging. But at least now, including this, the errors that we have in reaction.cpp should be way less. Right? Okay. And so in all the functions where we add NPC, actually let me define this class. So NPC, please give me NPC. Yeah, NPC. So I want to define for now very simple. I just want to define a class like this inside. No. We don't, right? We use the controller, right? Or we use NPC. Good question. Do we want to, inside the controller, do we want to have a class called NPC? No. We use our own, right? Which is PSAI controller. So wherever, okay. So this class was originally NPC. The class called NPC defined in NPC client / NPC.h. Yes. This represents the brain and memory of the NPCs. Okay, so it's fine. So it was originally called like this. So wherever we have this, we can why it doesn't like me? I don't know. Maybe because this is debugging. Is maybe this thing it doesn't like. Huh? It's just a macro, so who cares? Who cares? It's just a macro. So where do we go? We go under reaction. Yes, we go under reaction, and what we do, whenever we see NPC, well, NPC client is even harder. But no, get my script engine we have because it's inside our PS Unreal, and it's called MathScript engine. So I think this one we can do a mass substitution with this in all open documents. Go. Only 3. Okay. Anyway. So this error is gone. Right. So this class NPC. This class NPC I really don't like. We should change it. So did we declare it anywhere? Why is finding it? It's finding it somehow. It's finding a class NPC. Pick definition. Inside perception, inside a reaction, inside. Okay, instead of this, we do class APS AI controller, whatever it is, right? So we do this instead of this everywhere. What happens? We do this in everyone, and we include, we are just shooting, well, I don't know, yeah. Reaction, perception, NPC operations, NPC behave, right? So all of this will become like that. And so now it should give an error here. Now it will give an error here, and we just substitute all of this with our APS control, APS AI. So we do a mass substitution. This one we will not find it now. We say undefined stuff. I'm sorry for the boring part of the stream, but I mean, there is the real work at the end, you know. So it's the real work of doing the C++ part and understanding, and I mean, setting the basis for the future. Right? That's what we are doing. I understand it's not the most exciting part, but maybe I can do it off stream. But you know, it's always nice to have someone working together with me. So that's fun. Maybe I can cut off some of the parts where it's just programming, you know. But anyway, yes, error. It doesn't find NPC. So wherever we have this, we should substitute with APS AI controller. Now we don't want to do it massively. We want to do it one by one. So this one yes, this one no, this one yes, this one no, this one no, this one no, this one yes, this one yes, no, 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 no. The problem is that NPC is flicking everywhere. think we will find 1 million of those. It's probably easier if I just do it on the open. Yeah. Oh, this one was a good one. This one yes, this one no, this one yes, this one no, this one yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Ah, seems a video game. Pointer to the NPC for this brain. Okay, why is pointing? Ah, NPC type. PC type is pointing to NPC. There are quite some functions that are using this. Would I make mistakes while clicking like this? Probably. There are millions. Millions. Okay. We finished that file. We can try to do a compile anyway and see what happens. We get a million errors back. Okay, I think we finished. No, we didn't. I'm just substituting everywhere that class is used with our new class. Is it done? No. Still finding results, but these are all descriptions, so should be fine. Should be fine, should be fine. Let's see. Okay, I think we are cycling again to the same file that we just changed, so it should be okay. I think we got them all. Didn't finish. He continuously. There's another one here. NPC operations. Okay. All NPC operations. We have to substitute. Looks like a video game. This thing I'm doing. It's like I have to be sure I click the right one and I skip the other ones, you know. I don't know if I did any mistake up to now, but skip, yes, yes. This one, yeah, I think it's correct. Should be fine. Wow. There are millions. I'm scared of converting all this code. That's fine. We will do it. Wow. Can you see how many I'm finding? Everyone is a freaking function we have to convert. But it's okay. Don't panic. You can do this. By the way, I don't know if NPC is always our AI or not. I mean, now that I think about it, sometimes it will be the controller, sometimes will be the pawn, you know? So it's like, are we running all these operations on always on the brain, or are we running all these operations on the pawn? I have no idea. The point is that we will need to have a way to connect the controller to the pawn, but I think it's easy because these are controllers, so I can just do get pawn and it's done, you know? Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, how many? Hundreds. How many times did I click on substitute? I think it's hundreds. Ah, I missed one! No! Okay, see? Okay. I was going too quick and missed one. That was the first mistake, but I fixed it. I came back and I don't know if it's restarting now. Okay, I think we can. I'm bored of doing this. I think we can assume that we did it, and then we will compile and see if there are any left. Okay, because I clicked too many times. Okay, so we basically changed everything that is NPC to our AI controller, to our PSAI controller. So let's go back to our reaction file, which is the one that we were substituting right now. Yes, fighting. We are still fighting for this. Even if it's a bit later, it's midnight. I have to go. I have to go, my friends. I have to go. Yeah. I have to go. But, let's see how many errors we still have. So now the NPC error should have been gone, right? Yes. Now it's complaining that is debugging. Function is debugging. Declare line 35 is inaccessible. Is inaccessible? Inaccessible? What does it mean? Why is it not accessible? Because we don't have an import of. We have the include here, include of PSI controller. Why it says it's inaccessible? Is freaking defined, blah blah blah. It's just because it's is debugging is not private, is not public. Okay, it could be. You may be right, my friend. Okay. Let's see if he likes it more now. He's thinking. He's thinking deeply. IntelliSense is always thinking continuously. He's a data cruncher. So who is alive? Well, who is alive? So for example, who is alive? You know, we will change it to who get pawn. Yeah, it's a bit annoying because we have to cast it to plane shift character, right? But okay, it's not too bad. So if we do get pawn, all right, we go to our character, and then if we cast this thing to whatever PS character, no, to a PS character, then we have is alive, right? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Because basically now you got it, right? The fun part of the sim is finished. Ah, okay, no. Hide this for the people that are joining now. You didn't see that. So the point is that we have our. Ah, no, I can update. Wait. There is a better way. I can update my. Can update this. I can update Real Engine classes. Real Engine classes. Which, by the way, is not updated because this one is not fully updated. This thing doesn't exist anymore. Let me change it because this file is a bit old. It's not new. After this, what we did. Sorry, I'm just going to fix this, which is unrelated to what we are doing, but we added a new actor here, which actually in our code is APS item actor, if I remember right. Exactly. Is APS item actor, which is derived from actor and which has a reference to. Do we also have an APS item? I don't think we have an APS item anymore. We have a PS item. We have a PS item, right? Yeah. So we have a PS item. So it's not like this. Is not like this. Is APS item actor, right? APS item actor derived from actor. Yeah. So this one is a wow. That's big, but we don't want it like this. We want it like all the others. Okay. So we actually derived our items from a actor in a C++ class, which holds only the pointer to item data, and this actually is not here. Wow, magic, huh? Precision. Which points to, right? Which points to our. So this PS item actor is actually pointing to this. Yes. Well, a part of this is this, and this one contains our quality, charges, stats, and whatever. The item actor, we use it only for putting into the world. Okay, so now back. So I fixed this because it was wrong as soon as I saw it. But now we have another piece in addition. Our PS character, well, I don't know if we should place it here, but NPC, so there is a character, right? NPCs have on top of this the brain. So let's put another box here, which is our APS whatever controller, APS AI controller, and this one is related to, right, is related to this. I mean, I don't know how to do the relationship, but maybe I will do it like I did here down there. So it's related to this, and it is the brain of our right. It is the brain of our NPC. So this is the brain and memory of NPC. This is the brain and memory of the NPC. Why is a different font? Fuck it. I'll never be able to find the other font again. Okay. We'll survive with a different font. So this is the brain memory of the NPC. Yes. So our character is generic. We attach it. So and obviously this character has a player controller or a PSI or a PSAI controller. Right? So right. Fine. So we can always. This is our pawn. When we do controller get pawn, we get here, right? And then if we cast it to PS character, to APS character, like I did now in the code, right? I just cast it to my APS character. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Bam, 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 bam. Here. I cast it to APS character, then we can get a function like he's alive, right? Because we are actually navigating from the controller to the pawn to the character, and here we have our functions, right? So this is what we are doing with this cast, which I think is okay. It's not great to see maybe having a cast like this here, but who cares? For now it's fine. If that cast fails, I mean the cast cannot really fail because every AI controller we have connected a pawn, so I think it's fine. Okay guys, I think it's a bit late. I have to go now, but I think we took a pretty big decision tonight, which was to actually port the reaction behavior system. Also, another good thing that we did tonight was to identify that we need to put everything that is under npc.h into our AI controller, and we already have a class for it, which is derived from the standard AI controller of Unreal. Yes, and also we have improved a bit this drawing, which explains what is the plan, right? In terms of perception, behaviors, operations, and waypoints, and brain ticks, and whatever. So I think we did some progress. I have a good feeling. I think we did some progress. We mainly laid out the plan. I will try to continue tomorrow evening. I don't know if I will stream or not. Let's see. If I see the too boring part, I will not stream. I will just do it offline. Okay, I will just do it by myself. And then I will stream when I have some new content or new ideas like this one, or new things to discuss with you guys. Okay? Or if I feel alone, I would stream anyway. Okay, so I'm joking. But yes, I will. So with that said, I think I will close the stream for now. So thanks for watching, and thanks for being here. We're definitely making progress, and I will see you potentially tomorrow evening.